So let us discuss about 01st August 2015 newspaper. There are not very exciting articles as like yesterday in this newspaper today. Now with regard to the revival of economy, one of the thing is the banks, especially the NPAs are increasing, and the banks are becoming risk aversive to finance the long gestation infrastructure projects. In this context, the government agreed to recapitalize them to an extent of 70,000 crore, out of which 20,000 crore will be given towards National Infrastructure and Investment Fund. And this is towards carrying out, every year 20,000 crores commercially viable long gestation period projects. In this way, the infrastructure is going to get another impetus in India. And the next is M.K. Narayanan's article. So he tried to explore why the events are recent terrorist attack in Gurdaspur. So first is there are certain misnotions in India that on one way, as the talks with the Pakistan are going on, the ISI and other its agencies or its arms such as Lashkar-e-Toiba, a non-state militant agency in Pakistan operating from Pakistan, they will keep silent. But however, so the major aspect of the military and ISI is to derail the diplomacy. So in this context, any engagement is an indication that they may re-involve with regard to the designs of terrorism on the Indian soil. And the second thing is why the Punjab is a target. The reason is, especially when the violence in the Kashmir is increasing, at the same time the violence in the Punjab is decreasing. So till now, with regard to the Punjab, the role of the Pakistan in raising the violence was very minimal. So because of the historically Punjab versus Muslim fight during the division and also during 1965 war, it all provides for a kind of natural animosity between these two groups. But however, it appears now that the Khalistan movement of Punjab is becoming close to the jihadis or jihadi movement in Kashmir, which they wanted to fight a common platform and against a common enemy. And the third thing is, the violence is no more confined to the Jammu and Kashmir. They wanted to spread it all across the country. That is what is the another thing. So in this context, what the article suggests is, we have to develop a huge human intelligence across the border. And the human intelligence is through a citizen intelligence network, which will be a viable network towards fighting this particular terror elements. So that is what is the suggestion of the article is. And next is the death of Mullah Umar. Now the death of Mullah Umar, it has led to the fight for succession among the Taliban. So the Taliban was a unified structured force under the Mullah Umar, which has occupied the state power in Afghanistan. And also it is known for its misogynistic and also atrocities against the non-Islamic people. So in this context, after the Mullah Umar, so Mr. Mullah Akhtar Muhammad Mansur was declared as the Umar's successor. It was again contended by the Mullah Umar's 26-year-old son Mullah Yaqub and also former military commander, his name was Mr. Zakir. So it means there is a fight in the Taliban which can be used by the Islamic State to take the people from its cadre. And the second thing is, the influence of the Al-Qaeda on the Taliban might also decrease. And third thing is, which faction the chain is supervised, Pakistan-led Afghanistan Taliban talks is going to participate in. So you know that the Qatar-based Taliban office, it has rejected the talks with the Afghan-led government. In this case, the Pakistan is bringing the Haqqani network as a viable faction to negotiate with the Afghanistan. It means that it is bringing a dubious claim with regard to the Murree talks that the Taliban is actively involved with the negotiations with the Afghanistan government. So it means the Afghanistan and Taliban talks, it's more a claim or more than a farce which has been facilitated by the Pakistan. That's what is this we can understand. And one other frightening point is, in spite of this power fight in the Taliban, there till now almost 2 years, if Mullah Umar is killed, it means while 2 years it is able to carry out the deadly attack, it means that its capacity or its lethal power to attack the strategic forces and Afghan forces is still very strong. It means that the growing threat of the IS power and also existing strong power of the Taliban, it provides a new threat for the security of India. This we need to talk about. And a right in reality. So recently a girl, 14-year girl, who was pregnant because of a rape. So she applied a petition for getting herself aborted of this unwanted pregnancy. Now, what the law says over here is, especially this preconception, and that is what is called a medical termination of the pregnancy act. So what it says is, anyone, they can get their pregnancy terminated before the 20 weeks of gestation. Now, as this girl is at the 24 weeks of gestation, then the doctors has no more right to take up, or it's illegal for them to take up the abortion. So in this context, the courts have intervened and they have allowed, if she is medically fit, to take up an abortion over here. So in this case, the first issue is, what is the right of the fetus who is already become livable in the mother's womb? And the second thing is, what is the right of the mother? They come in conflict over here. So it has been said that the law is obviously more than some of its rules. We have to see a situation to apply a particular law. Law which is devoid of a situation, understanding of a circumstances, it is obviously not going to be in the best interest of the human being. This particular judgment which has been proved right to take the consideration of the people into thing. And next is again the Russia-China to counter the US-led pivot. So US Asia's pivot, recently a reconnaissance was taken up by the Pacific Command Admiral Mr. Scott by himself personally in the South China Sea. In this case, the US pivot to Asia is seen as a China's containment policy by the China. So the US and Japan, they are coming onto one side. China and Russia, they are coming onto the other side. In this case, the Japan also has introduced the new security bills, which allows to interfere with the other countries, even though its national integrity and its security of its citizens has not got threatened. That's what they described as the collective self-defense. So it means, so US and Japan is coming on one front, and China and Russia, they are being coming on the other front to balance the US pivot, Asia pivot. And in this context, there is another thing. Now, Japan, the Shinzo Abe, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, called for India, Australia, and USA, Japan, all these countries to provide for a common democratic front against the threats to the Asia. He indicated to contain the China through a common democratic force over here. But however, India did not explicitly say anything about China. So let us see this, how it is going to evolve this particular topic into. So try to see these topics. There are no much interesting news today. Just try to go through them once. So with regard to the fight against terrorism, Mr. Narayanan's citizen intelligence networks or human intelligence try to take up into this. Actually, this human intelligence as a concept which he proposed during the UPA one government was very much criticized. According to him, human intelligence means in every house there shall be certain people who has to be used towards the intelligence purposes of the states. So this is what Mr. Hitler did, Mr. Mussolini did, Mr. Stalin did in communist Russia. So it means, there is kind of a sense of insecurity increases among the people because no one knows who is the state agent over there, and it was highly criticized then. Again, in this article he proposed for the same human intelligence, so that's probably he is in the same opinion, so we need to understand. And thank you very much.